Does this look like a man who plans on retiring? Drew Brees got some workouts in, and that led to speculation about whether he's considering returning to the Saints. I'm Robin Lundberg here now with Bill Enright. And Bill, would the Saints be better or worse off if Drew Brees came back? You know, I hate even saying that they'd be worse off with a Hall of Fame quarterback and all that. But when we last saw him, he played so poorly that you do wonder if they want to turn the page, whether that's Jameis Winston, Taysom Hill, or some combination. And perhaps that's the reason that we see that Drew Brees hasn't announced his retirement yet, because he might want to redeem that playoff performance.
Yeah, so I think this is an absolutely great question. You look at what the Saints did in 2020. They were 12-4, second best record in the NFC. Drew Brees, he had a 70.5 completion percentage. That was his lowest mark since 2016, but that was actually the second best mark in the entire NFL. But Robin, what we saw out of Drew Brees, especially the last two seasons, his arm strength, his velocity on the football has really decreased a lot. You look at his numbers, 2017 and 2018, he was averaging over 8 yards per attempt. That number came down to 7.5 in 2020. That was the 14th best, or the 14th highest in the NFL. In terms of passes over 20 yards, he only had 31 completions. Guys like Nick Mullins, Cam Newton, Daniel Jones, Drew Lock all had more completions over 20 yards. So when you're looking at what Drew Brees brings to the table now, he's certainly very accurate still. But in terms of passing the ball down the field, that's why we saw Jameis Winston. That's why we saw Taysom Hill being brought into the game to kind of add some trickeration to what the Saints could offer and what Sean Payton could dial up and have some passes downfield, because it was really clear. Defenses knew that Drew Brees couldn't complete passes more than 15 yards, 20 yards beyond the line of scrimmage. And that limited what Sean Payton can do in terms of play calling, and that dictated what the defense can do in terms of how they played the Saints receivers. So at the end of the day, I think New Orleans, I think they would be worse off with Drew Brees under center in 2021.
Well, some of those reasons probably why Michael Thomas might have alluded to that fact about throwing down the field on Twitter, and why the mayor of New Orleans is actively trying to recruit Russell Wilson to the Saints. And here's the thing, you generally don't want to just say, all right, they'll be worse off, because you don't know who is going to be the successor. But the Saints have had success in recent years without Drew Brees, whether that was Teddy Bridgewater or whether it was Taysom Hill. And at some point, they're going to have to move on. We kind of all assumed it would be now, but maybe Drew Brees is saying not so soon.